The digital accessibility is not a technology problem, it's a human problem, correct? And accessibility is not taken into consideration. Even if you ask an AI, any GPT model to write code, it doesn't take accessibility into consideration by default. You need to really prompt the AI to asking it to write code with accessibility in mind.
Yeah,
They couldn't identify that I'm going blind, and it took a long time for my parents to understand that I really can't see. And then, in my 10th standard, the doctors told I'm already 80 to 90% blind. Still, people who think that because I'm blind I keep hearing, okay, when they come across me they ask me, do you do anything, like, if I say I work in the software space, they get shocked.
yeah,
They think people with visual disability or any disability, they don't work. Even the creative people who used to write every day, they write like, 3 lines, they give it to AI, it will expand it to like 30 lines.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, the
is
critical
drastically
thinking is
kind.
getting lost. See, accessibility right now is being done because the law demands it. Okay,
Exactly. Yeah.
very few enterprises does it as part of their what you call inclusion initiative. The only reason is it's not just that, see, there's awareness problem and there's the technology adapting problem,
Mhm.
adaptability.
Okay.
So there are these two problems that needs to be tackled.
All right. Vanakkam Makkale. Welcome to Beyond Sight. In Beyond Sight, we believe strongly in inclusion. Welcome to the first episode on inclusion. We have an interesting guest to talk about. So many things to cover. Let's welcome Raghavendra. Raghavendra, welcome.
Hi Chandru, how are you?
Excellent. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
All right. So, Raghava, if I have to ask you to summarize your work so far and going forward as well, so an average person or an high school student can also understand how do you describe the work that you have been doing?
So I work in the space of accessibility. When I say accessibility, I work in digital specifically. And what we do is we make websites, mobile apps, documents accessible for the various groups, including disabled people.
Mhm.
Like even if there's low internet, if there's someone who is having visual disability, low vision, fully blind, motor disabled, they can access all this content. So what I do personally is I do testing. Then I work with developers. I help them with code snippets. Then I also do write compliance reports and all that, because uh, accessibility is like a human right.
Yes. When you say digital, why it is specific to digital? Maybe you can give a flavor of why it is
There's
very.
built environment accessibility also, like, you have all these buildings that should have a ramp, it should have accessible washrooms.
Mhm.
There are multiple things that goes into built environment accessibility. When we talk about built environment, often people think it's only ramps. It's not just ramps. There's so many things that go into the entire workspace. There is, lately there's something, the term called quiet spaces for people who are,
Mhm.
overwhelmed mentally, to go and
Yeah.
spend time in a quiet rooms. There is, there's a accessible washrooms for people
Mhm.
with motor disability. And accessible washrooms are not just for people with motor disability. If you see people who have injuries on their legs, or people who has a difficulty walking,
Yeah.
people who have difficulty with their cognitive
Mhm.
abilities, they also use accessible washrooms. And ramps everyone uses. It's not just, people with strollers, people who has luggage, they also drag. You can't take them through steps, correct? So
Yes.
they use ramps too.
Yeah.
So built
Okay.
environment accessibility is there. I spend time in digital accessibility.
Mm,
So basically, I'm blind myself.
mm,
I spent last 15 years in the digital accessibility space. Before that, I spent time in marketing,
mm.
web design, and other stuff. Uh,
So in digital accessibility, let's explore this digital accessibility in three different spaces probably, from the developer standpoint, and also from the business or entrepreneurial standpoint, and from the
mhm.
consumer standpoint, right? So how do you see the digital accessibility space from these
Uh,
three different perspectives?
Well, digital accessibility is not a technology problem. It's a human problem, correct?
Yeah.
See, we have all these standards developed by World Wide Web Consortium, like how to write HTML, how to write JavaScript, how to write CSS. There are standards. But what
Okay.
happened is all the development that is taking place right now,
Mhm.
the web development or the mobile development, it doesn't happen without standards. That's the problem.
Correct.
The developers write code, like, there's no standardized way someone is taught how to write code. Some people learn on their own, some people go to institutes and learn, boot camps and learn. So they, whatever they learn, they implement. And sometimes, more often than not, the code that is written is not in the standardized format. So what happens at the end is people are given a front end that is not accessible for people with disabilities, and as a result, they'll not be able to access the content.
Mhm.
So
So
a lot of,
when you say disability, is it more specific to vision impairment, or it's across the board?
it's across the board. So let's just say, one of the thing that accessibility guidelines suggest is, everything should be accessible with keyboard. Let's just say someone who doesn't use uh, mouse, like
Yes.
me, who is blind. I
Mm,
use keyboard.
mm,
So I should be
mm.
able to tap to every element, activate it. I should be able to shift tab. I should able to move into the element, move out of the element with keyboard.
Okay.
That is not possible, then, and people with motor disability use something called a switch device,
Mhm.
and switch device is something, again, you have to, it's like keyboard itself. So they should
Okay.
be able
Uh-huh.
to, people use speech recognition software. They say people with severe motor disability use speech
Mhm.
recognition. They say, let's just say they use voice recognition, and they say click on so and so submit button.
Okay.
So the technology clicks on the submit button.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's across the board.
Okay. So when you say WCAG, that's the guideline. It's not the regulation by itself.
So WCAG is the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. It's drafted
Mhm.
by the World Wide Web Consortium,
Okay.
and right now the version is 2.2.
Mhm.
And there are certain guidelines, like they have put about 56 odd in level A and double A, 56 odd guidelines or 57 odd guidelines inside it, and each guideline tells how to develop a particular component, what accessibility, what needs to be taken care inside it, all that. What happens more often than not is, WC is just the starting benchmark. You should go beyond, while technical compliance is something, there's something called usability also.
Yeah. Mhm.
Something is technically compliant but not usable, or people with disabilities are finding it difficult to use.
Can you give an example so the audience can
uh,
understand?
yeah, so I'll tell you one interesting stuff that I encountered. There's this university application that I came across once, and it passes all the technical compliance, like, it follows all the technical WCAG, but the form in each step is so huge, so
Mhm.
huge. It took forever to fill, even one step. And what happens is, uh, you get tired, you step away, you come back,
Mhm.
and what happens is the form gets timed out, because
Okay.
you're not near the computer, you couldn't extend the form.
Mhm.
And when you log in again, the form you already filled is not saved. Let's just say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
The,
so you have to start from again from that.
yes, yeah.
Right, it followed all the technical guidelines of
Mm.
WCAG, but the just not having the save button.
Right. Yeah. And sometimes you also get a timeout error. So
Yes.
when you take a lot of time, so it's
Yes.
annoying.
Yeah. So all these are, there's so much of usability. That's why we say, test it with real users. You should have people with disabilities test your platform, mobile app, web app, and then, give feedback so that you understand where
Okay.
you stand currently.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. It's actual user verification in a way.
Yes.
It gets tested before it comes to the market. That's good. Yeah. So irrespective of having all these guidelines, when I was researching, I found that in even in globally, the top 1 million websites are still
Yeah, yeah.
having at least one issue with respect to accessibility. At least
95%. Yeah.
95% of those one
Yeah.
million websites,
Fail.
and yeah, and in India as well, at least top 100 websites are still having more than 160 on an average issues gaps with accessibility. So that includes all the top e-commerce platforms as well. That
Yes.
was really surprising. How do you see that?
See, the thing is, the development is moving at a rapid pace with AI also right now. With artificial intelligence, people are developing much faster. And accessibility is not taken into consideration. Even if you ask an AI, any GPT model to write code, it doesn't take accessibility into consideration by default. You need to really prompt the AI to asking it to write code with accessibility in mind.
Yeah.
So there's
Okay.
always those problems, and what I see is
Mhm.
accessibility is, the laws are here. Accessibility laws are being enforced for a very long time. The guidelines are in place. Still, accessibility bugs keep coming up all the time. The only reason is it's not just that see, there's awareness problem and there's the technology adapting problem,
Mhm.
adaptability.
Okay.
So there are these two problems that needs to be tackled.
Yeah, from the business standpoint as well, when it comes to accessibility, I guess in the entire planet Earth, we have close to 15% or 16% globally having some form of impairment. So,
Hmm.
even from that standpoint, do you feel the empathy is missing in the development, or what can be done to make this more part of the development process?
See, accessibility right now is being done because the law demands it. Okay,
Exactly.
very few enterprises does it as part of their what you call inclusion initiative.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
so when you're doing it because the law demands it, you do the bare minimum and you leave it. What everyone wants is a compliance report. In my experience, when people come to us, when they talk to me, I'll talk to some of the customers. They say, we need the compliance report because we need to submit it to so and so agents, so and so government entity.
Yeah.
So that is a awareness gap that is there. They don't think that, by making their products really accessible and usable by people with disabilities, they have a user group that they can tap into. They're not seeing that.
Yeah, that human connect, or human empathy is what is going to
Yes,
make a
that is
difference.
missing.
Not only
Yeah.
regulation is.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand your perspective on that. Basically, that's how I am interpreting that based
Yes,
on whatever I have seen so far.
I agree. So the thing is, once you have uh, products that are accessible, the people with disabilities have a huge um, spending potential.
Exactly. It's a
So
huge market by itself. As I said
yes,
before, it's a huge market potential.
yes. So you can tap into that market.
Yeah. So that market is ignored on purpose, or it is not aware that that market is existing.
See, awareness is lacking. I think we discussed this earlier. Awareness is lacking. Not many people, even today, even in if you go only in the large cities, people, even in large cities, I find it still, people who think that because I'm blind, I keep hearing, okay, when they come across me, they ask me, do you do anything? Like, if I say I work in the software space, they get shocked.
Yeah.
They think people with visual disability or any disability, they don't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is the kind of there is no awareness in the society yet.
Society.
You see, in India, it is very lacking. If you see, somewhere I was reading the stats in United States, the disability employment rate is about 12%. See, if it is 12% in United States, it's very low even in India. If you
Yeah.
see, even in India, problem is like just said during my schooling, I was not aware of computers. I was not aware of JAWS, was not aware of digital education or anything. I don't even know in plus one, plus two, you can take science subjects. And, I finished my class 10 and school in 2002. But when I
Okay.
moved to my college and all, I was not even aware that, you can take science subjects. There's programs available for people with disabilities to study with computer and all that. So there's a huge gap.
Yeah.
There even the rehabilitation centers doesn't have much knowledge, because back then the information is not widely spread, but today the information is widely spread because of the computer, the technology availability. Everyone has a smartphone, everyone has access to
Yeah.
search engines and social media, so they are
Yes.
able to access the content much faster.
That's right. Yeah. And as you mentioned, it's really unfortunate that we don't have a lot of awareness back then on technological aids. So we could have
Yes.
empowered so many people.
It took a lot of time, but I think we are coming there slowly. But still, we need to penetrate into a lot of, two-tier cities, three-tier cities, rural areas. Even still, even today, there is no awareness. See, if someone want to learn how to use a screen reader, they still have to come to Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, or Bombay or Delhi. Why can't they learn a screen reader within their city or within their village? Is there a center that teaches blind people how to use a screen reader, or how people with various disabilities can live independently? Are there employment trainings within their city? There are not, none of these are available as of now.
That's right. And the schools are also very limited. When I was talking to one of my friend last week, he was also
Yes.
sharing that the number of schools, even in states like Tamil Nadu in south, where we claim we have a lot of literacy rates, that is the status, unfortunately, that we have not so many schools to empower inclusive education.
See, the word inclusive education is being misused right now. Let's just say I have a friend who's a teacher, and she says, Raghav, we are going to have people with various disabilities join our school. And I asked a
Okay.
question. Now, to deal with children who are children with disabilities, you need to get some kind of training, whereas the
Exactly.
school has not involved the teachers in any training. They are just taking the students, but how are they going to teach to these students? How are they going to handle their uh, you know me- growth?
Yeah, how do you adapt your education methodology to the needs of the
Adapt,
people, right?
how do you the adoption of education methodology, how is it? How are they going to change it, and are they going to give attention to individual children? No, I don't think so. Correct, they are going to
Yeah,
put all these children in the same class. So
exactly.
there's a huge problem. And I have another friend who is having an autistic child, and they are finding it very difficult to go to any school within the area to give admission to the child. So
Yeah,
I'm seeing both sides of the coin right now.
That's right. Yeah, it's not only for special children, right? Even for normal children who are normal, there also I think the teachers need some adaptation to suit their methodology to the individuals. That itself, I think we are still not there, and it is a long
Yes.
way to go for customized education, so to speak, for people with special
Yeah,
care.
but this is 2026. That is the
Yes.
problem. Because, see,
Yeah.
when I did my education in early 2000s, my teachers couldn't even identify that I'm going blind. They thought I'm acting.
Mm.
I'm making it up. Okay.
Yeah.
And they couldn't identify that I'm going blind. And it took a long time for my parents to understand that I really can't see. And then,
Mm.
in my 10th standard, the doctors told I'm already 80 to 90% blind. I'm just using whatever left out of my eyesight as
Mm.
best as I can, and I'm trying to adapt. So there's all this misconception of how,
Yeah.
in the schooling, there should be more awareness. When someone is not studying correct in
Mm.
school, generally teachers label them as they are not interested, or uh, they are making it up, they are
Yeah.
naughty. They make some excuse, that's all.
Yes. Yeah.
They are not trying to understand what is the root cause.
So, how difficult was it for you to digest, and how are you reacting when you know that in 10th standard maybe you are 15 years roughly? So
Yes.
at 15 years, when you know that there is something that is drastically changing, how did you react
See,
to it?
I started losing my sight at the age of 8. So, but what happened is doctors keep giving glasses, spectacles, and it did
Yeah.
not really help. Only in my 10th standard, because I did not do really well in my ninth
Mm.
standard. I really failed all exams.
Mm.
So what happened in 10th is, like, they said they'll not allow me to sit in the 10th
Mhm.
standard.
Okay.
Then during the routine checkup, my doctor said, no, you have to, there's something really wrong with the retina. And they
Mm.
did a lot of tests, and then they found out that I'm already 80-90%. So it took me a while to digest. But what happened is, they gave me a better magnifying glasses and all that.
Mm.
Then I really pick up in the studies. See, that is the assistive
Mm.
aid I need is better
Yeah.
magnifying glasses and other
Mm.
assistive aids that help me to
Mm.
study, correct? So
Yeah.
once I got them, I was able to study. But mental health took a toll. See, even
Mm.
today, now I'm totally blind. I'm
Mm.
100% blind, and
Mm.
it is like about 10 years back I became 100% blind.
Mm.
I managed with low vision for a very long time, and with
Mm.
magnifying glasses. In 2007,
Mm.
2008, I went to Enable India. I learned
Mm.
about screen readers. I did employment training there. Then I worked with IBM. That's how the entire journey started. Otherwise,
Mm.
I was not even aware there was Enable India. My dad told about me,
Okay.
about it to me. Then I googled about Enable India. I wrote to the founder. Then
Mm.
I spoke to them. They asked me to come to Bangalore to join the training. All that.
Yeah, that's really impressive to hear that you took um, strong stand at very early age. That really feels really strong. Yeah, and coming back, it then the message is the right diagnosis is the key, right? It looks like the diagnosis took a long time, and when they did the
Yes.
right diagnosis, then things fallen in place.
Yes. It took a very long time for the diagnosis.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I have another friend like who has similar experience that the diagnosis took a long time. By the time they diagnose, that things have gone significantly bad, which is not a very good sign for a country like
Hmm.
India. Yeah. So you said you landed at IBM. I think it's in 2009, something like that. You landed at
Yes.
IBM, and then what made you to start Digital Ally? By and what made you to um, kind of come out of IBM? Because at that point, back in 2009, it was probably dream job for most of the people. Um, what
So,
made you to come make the decision, and how important was digital eye to you at that point in time?
see, even before 2009, in 2006, when I was doing my final year of graduation, I'm a trained accountant. I did my bachelor's in commerce, and what happened is a lot of multinational corporations came to my college to hire people, and when they came to know I'm blind, I did not get through the processes. The processes were not accessible, one, and on top of it, the interviews were very biased. As soon as they came to know I'm a person with visual disability, they're like, we are not sure we can hire through we have something called diversity, corporate social responsibility, we need to talk to their teams and get back to you, all this. So what happened is, during that time I was hanging out with a couple of my friends, and they were trying to learn web design and build websites. So I asked them, what do you do with websites? Then they said, we can host a website, go at Google AdSense and make money. So I came home, I Googled about it. Then I started learning about web design. Then I started building websites. Then I went back and I said, how do you make money now? And they're like, you should apply for Google Ads. I come and apply for Google Ads. I got ads. What should I do now? They said, yeah, your website should get traffic. I did not understand what is traffic. Then they told the word is SEO, search engine optimization. Then I came home and then started learning about SEO. So I used to go back with one doubt. I come back and I learn. So that's how I learned about digital marketing, SEO, social media, email marketing, affiliate marketing, and all the subjects.
Okay.
Then I started doing some websites. I started selling websites, and uh, I used to make money out of that. So in 2007, 2008, what happened? My eyesight took a real big hit. I was not able to, and most of these platforms are also not accessible back then,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
inaccessible.
Yeah.
So what I did, I decided to learn screen readers. That's when I went to Bangalore. So during that time, 2006 to 2009, I used to run all this digital marketing stuff and all that. And in 2009, I joined IBM. I joined as a change manager for mainframe servers.
Okay. That's what they're
Okay.
famous for. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a very boring job, if you ask me. I was not happy personally, and I used to call my parents every day from Bangalore, and I used to sulk about my job, and I tell I want to quit. And my mom, tells like a small child how they'll give candy. You have to go to school. She'll tell something, and she'll say you have to stay in the job. Don't do this. Okay, so one of the great things about Bangalore is it's a very diverse community, and I was very fortunate to be part of lot of communities in
Yeah.
Bangalore.
It's
Whether it is startup community, whether it is technology, whether it is trekking community,
yeah.
uh, food community, and all that.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's the city
s-
which where you can find lot of exploration opportunities. You can
yes.
explore whatever
So
you want.
yeah, so I explored everything. So I used to be very busy on weekends,
Yeah.
very very busy on weekends. And what I did is I started writing my journey in Bangalore on my personal blog. So I became part of blogging communities and all that. And during one design event, I met another IBMer. Uh,
Okay.
his name is Puneet, and he works in the design team of IBM.com. So he asked me, Raghava, why don't you work in accessibility space? And I told, I want to work in accessibility space, but I am not getting an opportunity. This was on Friday.
Okay.
So Friday, and we met again on Saturday
Mhm.
because it's a hackathon. And he's like, I spoke to my manager asked me to hire an accessibility specialist, Raghava, and I told
Mhm.
about you because you are
Mhm.
already in IBM. He said he want to hire you. So this was
Okay.
like on Saturday. Friday
Oh.
afternoon we spoke. This is on
Mhm.
the Saturday.
Okay.
And on Monday, he arranged a call with his manager and all.
Mm.
And that's how I moved into accessibility into his team.
Okay.
And I worked in IBM for about 5 years. Till 2014 I worked in IBM. Then I quit and I joined another company, Washington based, United States based company.
Okay.
They started in India during 2013 and December or 2014, early 2014. I joined there as accessibility consultant again. It's called DQ Systems. It's one of the largest accessibility company. And I worked there for 7 years. And during that time, I started Digital 11Y. So Digital 11Y just started as a blog. It's an accessibility blog
Okay.
where I started writing whatever I learned about accessibility. I wrote it. That is the only goal. And what happened in 2018, 2019 is I was diagnosed. So I used to be a marathon runner. I used to do trekking in Western Ghats and rock climbing, chimney
Oh,
climbing. I did all that.
okay. So you explored the
uh,
Western coast completely.
yeah, a lot
Yeah.
of treks I did.
Oh,
There's a group called Nisarga in Bangalore. So they
okay.
used to host these treks and they're very
Mhm.
good at, they used to take me along, guide me properly and all that. So I did all this, but
Mhm.
in 2018, 2019, during a regular routine checkup, they found that my kidneys are not working properly. So further tests revealed that, they are failing. And in 2019, I was put on dialysis because my kidneys couldn't support any further. Uh, they couldn't find the medical reason also. That is one more thing. But during that time, I had a lot of ample time on my hands. So I spent a lot of time on my blogs, writing about it. And that's how Digital 11 has grown. Like we were getting about 200 to 300,000 unique visitors a year,
Okay.
every month. So, and during 2020, 2021, the COVID time, I started an accessibility community called Accessibility, Hello 11Y.
Okay.
And we started a WhatsApp group with about 300 400 members. We hosted online conferences, we hosted offline meetups. Every
Oh.
week, we
Mhm.
hosted office hours, helping people with their accessibility questions, jobs,
Okay.
upskilling and other things. So we did that about till 2023, 2020, I think till 2024.
Okay.
That is how, the entire community initiatives and all took place. So in 2021, I went through a kidney transplant, but
Okay.
again, end of 2024, 2025, early 2025, the kidney failed because of immunorejection. So I couldn't spend more time.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah. So right now I work with Level Access.
Okay.
It's an
What,
accessibility company again out of United States. I work remotely.
what is immunorejection? Maybe for people who don't understand.
So yeah, so when you say kidney transplant, what happens? There are two ways. Either your family member, someone can give you a kidney.
Yeah.
They need to match. It's not just blood group. That there are a lot of factors that need to match. In the case that your family does not have a match, what they do
Mm.
is they do cadaver. That means people who are brain dead and the families who are willing to donate the organs.
Mm.
Uh, they match the organ with the people who want the organ. Uh, they call it Jeevan Dan program in India. So every state has the Jeevan Dan program. So
Mhm.
I got enrolled in that. It took me 2 years to get the
Donor.
organ in the cadaver program. So what happens is because it's an external organ, what after
Mm.
you put the kidney or any organ, in fact,
Mm.
they put you on immunosuppression because these are external organs, correct? So our
Yeah.
body thinks uh, they are as a foreign invaders, and
Okay.
they keep attacking the organ. So to make sure that organ doesn't get attacked and is safe, they put lot of immunosuppression and all. But sometimes it doesn't work. The immune
No.
is become so strong that it rejects the organ, and the organ doesn't work any long.
Yeah, it's like your own immune system fighting against each other.
Yes, yes. So right now I'm on dialysis 3 times a week. I go for dialysis.
Yeah, I wish everything goes well.
Mhm.
And I know you are pretty strong, so you will come through this very, very, very soon. So I wish.
Mhm.
Yeah. So and then I guess after all these hardships, you followed your passion, and I guess you started educating people on accessibility.
Mhm.
And tell us more about this community. What you do, how you are engaged.
I keep myself busy during the
Mm,
week. My job keeps me busy. On weekends, I spend writing and I spend teaching accessibility or subjects that I am very passionate about. I used to read a lot of books. I read very
mm,
few books now.
mm,
But books, podcasts is something that is very close to my heart again. So I spend time
yes.
listening to audiobooks, podcasts, and other things.
Mm,
Community is something that I'm. What I learned in Bangalore is community building is very uh, refreshing, and
mm,
hosting community events and something is which is very close to my heart, because only because of these communities that I'm very successful, because of my connections in Bangalore, like how I met people in community events and all that.
mm,
So what I do is I host community events. We meet for lunch or we meet for dinner, or we just meet casually. We identify a place, we book the place for about 20
mm,
30 people. We hang out. Sometimes a lot of new people come, or sometimes all the old people come,
no,
exchange. It is socially refreshing, and it is good for mental health also, because all in this
absolutely.
all the
Mm,
technology space, what is happening is people are stuck to their phone or their computer.
yeah,
They are not meeting other people. So
exactly.
this is a social space, and it is a safe space, and people connect with each other, they unwind.
Exactly. There is nothing that replaces human connection, so we need to
Yes.
be stay connected.
Yeah.
Yes. So, how did AI? You touched upon this before. How is AI impacting your daily lives, and also what is changing when it comes to accessibility with AI?
Lot of things are changing in with AI. So if you use Be My Eyes app, there's something called Be My AI. There's something, you take a photo, it explains the entire room, or anything. It explains everything, your
Yes.
surroundings. And I
Mm,
use something called Seeing AI app. If I have to read menus and all, because of AI, artificial intelligence, it is possible lately. Otherwise, if earlier, if you was to go to
mm,
any restaurant, we used to wait
mm.
until what the you can't go independently and order something that you want, because they'll not read the entire menu. They'll just read like first two things and they say, what do you want? Now I can scan the entire menu with my phone. I can make an informed choice of what I want to eat, what I want to drink,
Exactly.
because AI
Yeah.
is helpful here again.
Yeah.
And when it comes to
Mm,
development, let's just say,
mm,
there's a lot of, you can write accessible code with AI. There are a lot of tools, Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, or Cursor.ai. There's so many tools right now in the market that you can
yes.
write coding, you can create content,
Mm,
all that. People are creating images, videos, everything. Okay,
yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, but again, while AI is helping all this, there's something called use of ethical AI. Correct? Yeah, there's
Yes.
something
Yeah.
AI ethics that are there. Again, that is one more thing. That subject interests me a lot, because
Yeah.
see, right now, how I see is, one of the thing that I feel. I'll tell you one interesting thing. I did not use a smartphone for a very long time,
Oh.
and all my friends, I used to have this Nokia 1100, or 1112 or something, which is
Yes.
very basic. It used to have all this keyboard, and
Yeah.
you can make a call, you can receive a call. Beyond that, you can't do anything with it.
Exactly. Yeah. And
Okay,
you
it
can play a
doesn't.
game called Snake Game, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the sneak game. Okay, back then. So that is very famous back then.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing is, back then I can remember about 200 to 400 phone numbers in my memory. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay, now I got an iPhone. Once it starts talking, you don't have to remember anyone's phone number,
Exactly.
because you are relying on the voiceover, and
Mhm.
you are relying on the speech.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Now I only remember my phone number, my father's phone number, my driver phone number.
Yeah,
So see how it diminished. So something
exactly.
similar is happening with AI. So what is
Yeah,
happening is people, even the creative people who used to write every day, they write like 3 lines. They give it to AI, it will expand it to like 30 lines.
exactly. Yeah. So yeah,
Okay.
the critical thinking
Yeah,
is
the critical
drastically
thinking
come
is
down.
getting lost. That is something happening, and people, let's just say people who are not good at writing earlier are writing using AI.
Yeah.
And one of the CTO told me about this problem. Raghav, after AI came, all my employees write large emails to me. The problem is earlier they used to write two emails in broken English. I can still understand. Now
Yeah.
in this polished emails, I don't understand what they want. I have to really call them and ask, what do you want?
Yeah, exactly. Now with the vocabulary, we can easily identify whether it is written through AI or it is written by themselves. So,
Yes, see, that is
yeah,
one more problem. So
yes,
there are various problems that are spanning out of this. But what I do really is I still spend time writing on my own, whatever the rough drafts. I give AI to do spell check and grammar. This
yeah,
is something that I am keeping very consciously, because I
okay,
don't want to lose my ability to write, think,
correct.
and because both analytical and logical thinking should be.
Should be
You
human.
should not
Yes,
lose. You
yeah,
should not
yes,
lose them.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, when you mentioned spell check, I remember one of my friend telling me that with AI, you don't have to be really perfect in spelling. AI corrects on its own, even if you type it wrong. So
Yeah.
that's another problem for the kids that are
Yes.
growing
Yeah. Yeah.
in the
See,
AI world.
I still have problem with receive medicine and all that. Is it CENE, CINE? I get confused. But you know what?
Yeah,
I can still, when I come across a spelling that I don't know, I still go read it once and I try to remember it.
exactly.
But it's going to be a huge barrier, and a lot of people are right now. See, AI is being used to show content to users on YouTube or Instagram or Facebook. The problem is people are hooked to these platforms and they are not able to come out of it.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, I think we are moving from addictive algorithms to addictive AI programs probably very soon.
Mhm.
But yeah, but I think it is what is more important is it is having very positive impact on lives of so many people. Like you mentioned, AI apps, AI tools, seeing AI.
Yes,
So
yes, yes. See, there
I
are always pros and cons of any technology. It's how you adapt it and use it.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah, and when it comes specific to accessibility, for example, how do you think AI is going to impact? It's just going to have a positive influence, or
It
there
is
are.
going to have a positive influence. I think we are not yet there, but it's
Mhm.
going to take time, and it's going to have a positive influence. We need to see how browsers adapt AI. Let's just say I write a code that is not accessibility compliant. Can a browser, when it loads the code, can it fix it and make it accessible? That is
Okay.
something, because in earlier days HTML, people
Mhm.
wrote bad HTML, bad CSS, but browsers fixed it and rendered it.
Yeah.
Is that something that is similar going to happen in the accessibility space? Is something we need to see. And there are a lot of accessibility companies working towards various softwares and tools with AI in mind, and see helping web owners to make their content more accessible, their code more accessible. Let's see how the industry is going to shift. I already
Sure.
see the shift, but
Mhm.
how majorly it will shift is something that we need to see in next few years.
Sure. Absolutely. We hope that there is a positive and significant change. Yeah, so we are coming to the end of the discussion. This is the tradition in this podcast, standard question based on your own journey. So far, what is the one thing that you are thinking now differently? which was not the case before.
So Chandru, I'll tell you very interesting thing. I told you
Mm,
I'm going through my health
mm,
issues or
mm,
anything.
mm,
I think as you grow old, man, all
mm,
the see what happens is in my 20s, for me,
mm,
success is, you need to become famous, you need to make a lot of money, you should have a
mm,
company that makes $1 million and all that.
mm.
Right now, I want to sleep more time. I want to have a peace of mind. I want to I want to relax and eat my food.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
I want to get a nice pedicure, manicure done, relaxed. I spend time in these things right now rather than
Yeah.
chasing a lot of other things. In my 20s,
Yeah.
if I speak to my
Mm,
friends, like I'm in
mm,
my late 30s right now.
mm,
When I
mm.
speak to my friends from Bangalore, where we used to hang out, productivity used to be on top of. We used to have
Yeah.
apps that used to have calculator how productive we are, what we did
Mm,
that week. We used to write down everything.
yeah.
Okay, we used to see ROI. If we are attending an event, what is the return on investment in attending this event? What do we learn? Okay, how do are we making any connections? How is the networking going on? We used to think of that. Now I
Wow.
just go,
Mhm.
just to relax, talk to a few people, have some good food. I spend more
Yeah.
time relaxed right now. So for me, more
Mm.
deep connections, deep conversations, peace of mind. All this
Wow.
is more important than anything else.
That's really powerful. At the end of the day, I think that is what is more powerful,
Uh,
to have more meaningful conversations and meaningful
I
connections.
want to my life to be more
Mm.
meaningful. That's the thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Sure. So with that powerful note, Raghava, thanks for your time, and we hope that the community and society becomes more inclusive and more connected
Thank you,
and more
Chandru.
accessible. Yeah. Thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.